You may recall that at halftime of the last Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar was up on stage and performing, and he was surrounded by a sea of about 400 people who made it seem like it was an actual concert. Those people are all volunteers, and yeah, they get a sandwich for their action. But anyway, there was one particular volunteer who decided to pick up a Palestinian flag, and he ran around the field with it.
I felt I didn't have a choice because I was selected to be a part of the halftime show, and I saw what my position was. It was a great stage, a large stage, and we know as a practicing Muslim, our Prophet Muhammad teaches us if you see a wrongdoing or you're aware of a wrongdoing, you must stop it with your hands. And if you can't stop it with your hands, stop it with your tongue. Speak out against it. And if you can't stop it with your tongue, try to stop it with your heart, meaning pray about it. So I had an opportunity on a grand scale to bring awareness or speak out against a wrong of our Muslim brothers and sisters. So we're spiritually connected in Islam, and we're connected with empathy for humanity because we're all human beings, God's creation, and they're oppressed, and it's on a wide scale, and nobody is really giving it the light that it should get, or at least working toward a change. And I wanted to show the solidarity to those afflicted by this and their families and loved ones, that they're being remembered here in America. And they're being remembered here in America, not just by me, but by others.
Now, at the time, in the immediate aftermath, the police and the security around the stadium didn't realize that he wasn't performing as part of the show. They thought it was part of the show, so they didn't do anything for a minute or two. Then they realized it, and they chased him down and charged him with trespassing and took him off the field. But they decided to not press the charges after they removed him and let him go. Well, flash forward a couple of months, and at the end of June sometime, they issued a warrant for his arrest. They decided that criminal trespass was worth pursuing in some way. And it's a kind of a strange wording on what they said, because it was 5 months later and they're arresting this guy for his criminal activity. It's just kind of a weird thing that they didn't charge him at the time, and now they're charging him. But the story doesn't quite end there. There's another little piece to this puzzle. It's that in April or May, you may have heard that Antonio Brown, the receiver who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and I believe the Raiders later, had been involved in an activity. He was gambling in Miami, and somehow or other he got upset about the outcome of the game and wound up chasing someone into the street and shooting him. And he was charged with the crime, and he's got all kinds of problems, and he may or may not leave the country to avoid and evade and whatever. But the connected part to this story is that the guy he shot, yeah, it's the same guy that was at the Super Bowl carrying the Palestinian flag. How did he wind up connected in this story? And you have to wonder just a little bit if there's more to this story than we're being told, and there's some odd connections to it that just don't make sense.